me and you, we gonna throw down. That's right, we gonna get serious.
You can run, but you can't hide.
It's time for the Fuller Broadcast with your host, Jeff Fuller, and your co-host, Anthony the Tiger Cruz, bringing you the latest.
Welcome to the Fuller Broadcast, 24/7 sports news, live interviews, mania coverage. I interview MMA fighters, boxing, ICAM, kickboxing, Muay Thai, you name it, I'll interview you on my show. And I'd like to thank my sponsor, D&D Baits. Remember, guys, whoever shows up on my show live and watch, you guys will be in my drawing Thursday night. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night. It won't be a show Thursday night. It's Tuesday night, tomorrow night. So whoever watches, has got a chance to win some baits from the D&D Baits. Anthony Cruz.
Gotta get those fishes. You're
going to be. I told you I'll be on this drawing, so you're going to be on this drawing this time. All right?
No, I don't want. What I'm going to use it for? I don't fish.
No, you give to somebody that fish. You're in Ohio, right?
Yeah, I'm in Ohio.
All right, so our show comes going to be Matt Lyall to come in and talk about his training. He's for his shin. Boy, he will. And I don't know if you see any of his videos, but he's training well, strong. He hasn't fought in almost over a year, I think. Since the he almost had a fight canceled. So I'm waiting for him to show up on here. So while we're waiting for him, what do you think about the Zachary Johnson? How he transformed when we first had him, and he has more energy now.
Oh no, you see a whole different attitude. You know, he looks more confidence. He looks relaxed. You know, he looks like he's really looking forward to it. Yeah, he's ready for this fight. He's ready. I mean, you can really see it in him, man.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his videos, man. He's like, ever since he started that boxing training, he's been like from day one and never stopped. And I have a feeling whoever his opponent's going to be, better watch out with all that shit talk.
Yeah.
Zachary's going to take it into the ring and make sure you don't, Yeah,
that happens all the time. You see, especially when a person has more fights and finding somebody who has that many fights, they always tend to underestimate them. You know what? It's a quick fight. I'm just going to train a little bit. And guess what? The guys who's more hungry, usually the guys who are the underdog, will take that beating. Will take that beating to him. So, you can never underestimate nobody, man. You never take somebody lightly. Never.
All right, so I'm still waiting for him to come on. So while we're waiting, we'll talk a little bit more. So we got a bunch of fights coming August 15th. I forgot what promotion
22nd.
that is. I'll figure that out.
Well. I don't know if you guys know. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know because on the 22nd, on the 15th last week. Yeah, it was last week. No, the 15th. Frankie Edgar supposed to fight on the UFC card, but they pulled him out of that card and they made him, on the 22nd. You know what I'm saying? So that's my ex-teammate, my Frankie Edgar from Team Hensel Gracie. So we gotta check him out. He needs that win. Wish you all the best, my friend.
All right, we'll check him out. Hopefully, get him to announce my Fuller Broadcast when he wins.
Yeah. Chris Weidman just won last week. He came back from a 5-losing streak. You know what I'm saying? He came back and he won a big fight. So he's put him back on the map. You know what I'm saying? So congratulations to Chris Weidman from Lyall, New York. You the man, bro.
So I want to talk to you about this fight we just saw last week, and I'm sure you remember who it was. Holland had just fought. He was supposed to fight a couple of weeks, but his fight got canceled because I guess a fighter passed out. So Holland just fought recently, just on the weekend, and knocked this dude out. He went in there and took whatever frustration he had last week or the week before and used it on that Saturday's match and took that guy from start to finish. And I was wow.
But it goes to show you that whether it's trash talk or or a bad situation happening to you. Sometimes there's two way you could take a negative situation. You can let it amp you, or you can let it defeat you. You know what I'm saying? Some fighters, even they're going shit to their life, they get motivated by that. They don't get discouraged, or they get mad. No, they use it like Sakari was saying. They use it as a way to get the confidence and amp them up, and that makes a dangerous fighter. But somebody has a reason, for whatever reason, to amp up the fight more and have that strong mentality coming to that fight. Woo! You better be ready, because it's gonna be a short night.
It was so weird because a couple weeks ago I was watching UFC when they canceled his fight, and then Saturday came come up. I was like, "What? Wait a minute, he's fighting?" I'm like, "Oh
Right,
man, he's gonna
right,
go in there and just take whatever frustration he has, going knock his
yeah,
opponent out."
yeah,
And look what happened. Holland
yeah.
Holland is a great fighter. He's got speed. He's got weapons that he could use, but you won't know what he's gonna do.
Right,
He could do a
right, right.
flying knee, a turning
But you never
spinning
know.
hit.
Yeah, yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I was very shocked. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
the fight would go a little longer, or like go in the third round and he knock him out, but he went in there and just like he
ah,
tore him up.
ah.
So hopefully that'll be a good thing for him, and he starts shows everybody he can fight for the title, and
Right.
hopefully we'll see that sooner or later. Now the other one, have you seen the Derek Lewis fight
No,
on the UFC? Derek
no.
Lewis is, I believe he's 18-5 now, ranked number 4 in the
Damn.
heavyweight class. His opponent has almost 3 times more fight that Derek Lewis has, and Derek Lewis took him and literally knocked him out.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Eh,
they don't, like me
Yeah.
and you were talking about. The more experience you have, it doesn't matter. It
Don't
matters.
matter. Don't matter. Don't matter. Listen, yeah, you could fight 100 guys. 100 guys are not me. You see what I'm saying? And once you fight me, I'm a whole different animal. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care who you fought. If you didn't fight me, that don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know how better those guys are. Either they're better than me or less than me. So I cannot really let those numbers dictate who I am and what I'm bringing to the ring. You know what I'm saying? Of course, so some guys they let it get to them. Oh my God, he has 10 more fights than me, or he must be that good, or he has 20 fights more than me. He must be that good. No, because most likely more half of those fights he fought bum. But that don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? So unless he didn't fight me, that don't mean nothing.
I believe he was 30. Derek Lewis was 30 pounds
Yeah,
more than his opponent. That could have played a little advantage of it. I'm not sure,
yeah,
but he went in there and he fought him like the guy was nothing. He almost
yeah,
got, do it this way, before the end of the first round. Derek Lewis almost got choked out. The
yeah.
bell saved him. So
A-
when the
a-
second
any
round
a-
came,
any fighter
go
that
ahead.
walk any fighter that they goes into the ring with I don't care mentality. Woo. Yeah,
Yeah,
man, when you have something outside your life that's not affecting you, and you go into that ring where I don't care mentality, that's a dangerous fighter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you have a reason to showcase your best for whatever reason, that's a dangerous fighter. You know what I'm saying? Some fighters, let things get to them, and sometimes they want to just bow out. But some fighters say, no, no, I fight. Yeah, because the fight is going to be a way for them to let that pain out. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
that's going to be very dangerous.
yeah. It's like that's where most of the interviews we have for some of the fighters, they they were talking about their last fight, how like mentally they weren't. You know how like Zachary was talking about how they talk too much. It got to his head. Fighters sometimes think about that crap. Why is he talking,
Yeah,
shit, and it really
yeah,
gets them. So he's kind of getting nervous. So when he gets in the ring, is this opponent really going to beat the
He can't
crap
do
out of me?
nothing. Yeah. He can do nothing.
Yeah.
Even before the bell ring, you're already mentally defeated because you let all that shit get to you. Okay,
Yep.
and it's amazing. And it's amazing to me when you have a lot of years in the sport that it will you will think it will come to a time where that don't get to you no more. Like it's part of the game. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of guys that are sensitive to that, and no matter how long they're in the game, it still it lets get to them. You know what I'm saying? Other guys just don't. Other guys like me, for example, I never been a shit talker. I just listen. I see you in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I never been the guy to call you names and shit like that, whatever. You know, so I know exactly what he's talking about. But at the same time, I never let anybody get to me. You know, in my mind, you know, it's like I see you in the ring. You know.
Yeah. It's just like you remember back in the days I was wrestling. I wrestled for almost like 4 years in high school and like 3 out. I did a lot of Greco-Roman and freestyle wrestling. And when you go to the weigh-in and you gotta make that weight,
Yeah.
you see fighters coming up right beside you, going, trying to get into your head.
Yeah.
You know, if those fighters or wrestlers did not know that I was deaf in one ear and I wore the
So
hearing
it
aid in
didn't-
the other one, but I
it
took
didn't
it
matter.
out, so I couldn't hear him. So I was like, you know, that's the advantage I have because they could talk all that crap.
Right.
It's like some of these fighters, I wish say, hey, just put an earplug in your ear, just like
Right.
but they won't do that.
Yeah. Intimidation has been in the sport for a long time. Whether you're a wrestler, boxer, kickboxer, MMA guy, bare knuckle now. I mean, intimidation has been something that it's being used as a tool to get into other fighters' skin. So it's an old tactic that isn't gonna go away anytime soon because if it's there and you could use it and you could throw off your opponent if your opponent let it get to his head, that's a win for you. But if you are a fighter like me or like Zachary, they don't let it get to you. If anything, will give me a reason to beat your ass even more. That could also be a dangerous thing for my opponent.
Yeah, it's like
it could backfire. It could backfire. You know what I'm saying? I could just fight regularly, or I could go there with a mission to beat your ass up.
That's why I think a lot of fighters do that. The ones that are, they have that record. They think their record it makes them want to talk all this. So like I always told most of the opponents or the fighters that I've talked to, let them talk about their records. Let them talk shit. Like, let them do it because you're you. Be you. You go in there, you'll do a lot better than he will.
That's right.
So guess who's coming on? Here we go. Matt,
the man himself.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We're doing good. We're waiting for you to come on. Were you having a little difficulties with how to get on there, or?
Yeah, I couldn't figure out my Facebook password.
It's all good, man. It's all good. So I appreciate you coming on full broadcast and give us a little detail. I knew you over a year and a half almost. The training. So how's training been like for that year and a half and get ready to fight September the 12th?
Well, it kind of pissed me off the way what happened, but unfortunately, when you piss somebody off in the commission, you kind of lose. But it gave me more time to basically do what I have to do, get exactly what I want to get, and make myself more on key. I mean, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time, but I basically became a little more. I guess you would say on point. I guess.
Right.
So it's like I don't want to sound too confident, because anything can happen in a fight, but
we'll talk about that.
It's going to be very interesting. How's that?
I like the way he puts it. It's going to be very interesting. Put it in a nice way.
Hey, Anthony, have you seen this guy train? I've seen all his videos. He trains a different way that other fighters would. he trains like he kicks a lot of like poles, bats with the shin, tighten that shin up. How does that?
When you do traditional kickboxing, that's what you do. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're doing Muay Thai, you will never do the things like that because American kickboxing, they don't care about conditioning the shins and stuff like that. If you do Muay Thai, you do stuff like that, and you go against somebody else, whereas American kickboxing, European kickboxing, or even another Muay Thai guy, they don't know how to condition the shins. And you could be in trouble because one kick, woo, hurts like hell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I've been fighting for a very long time, and I'm one of the. Yeah, I mean, I've been on there where Orlando Rivera, Phil Nurse, people like Chris Algieri was amateurs on my shows, and I mean, we've been around, since Medley was doing KICK and Jonas PKF, and I mean, this was way before when they was doing the USKBA and stuff like that. So this is, I've been in and out of the game, and I've been very blessed to be trained by some of the best fighters. Orlando, working with these big boys, Jonas, all those guys from the PKF and the America's Finest Kickboxing Academy. Even back in the days when Luis, Bad Boy Ruiz was
my coach,
doing his thing. Ray Longo was just with Chris Wagner. He was doing Chris Wagner, which ended up being a referee. I remember Chris Wagner, fighting that. I actually, believe it or not, I actually was able to fight once against. It was kind of wrong for me to fight against the guy. Maybe he had way too much experience at the time. But I don't know if you guys know Billy Masonette. He's one of the Masonette is one of like the top Muay Thai fighters around. But like these people were like pioneers. I was able to fight people like Louis Gordonot before he was even in the UFC. So I fought Keith Youngs. I fought Moses Orocho. I fought Bobby Campbell. I fought some of the best fighters. Some of the best fighters out there. And all I did was learn from them. The people that I've lost to with those people. Even what's his name? Devon Cormack. You know what I'm saying? And these are all world champions. These are guys that are top. They were top of the league. And this is, like I said, like a lot of people, when back when I was fighting, I was coming in at 110 pounds, 112 pounds. And these guys, I mean, I was given sometimes 20, 30 pounds. But back then it was a little different than now.
It was a little different.
Yeah, people back then, it was just like, get in there and fight. It was,
That's right.
Do what you got to do. It's either you fight or you go home. They really don't care. There's enough people that they can cover you. It wasn't a big deal. But you know what? I could say that I learned from every of it. And as I got older, I got more mature in the fight game. I guess you would call it becoming more seasoned as a fighter.
Right.
Unfortunately, though, I have 4 kids, which is, actually a blessing. And as you can see, because I can hear your kids in the background,
I'm not trying to cover up the
family is everything in your life, because when everything goes down, the shade goes down. The only people by your bedside is your family.
That's what I'm saying? That's right.
But being a fighter, that we all, it's you can take us away from the fight, but you can't take the fight out of us, and we're just going to keep going.
Right.
And I've learned a lot. And then finally, it just got to the point where I guess you'd call it almost like a divine invention. I decided it was like, you know what, I can do this, and I have the experience. I fought the best, so you know what?
That's right.
Let's just go. This time, instead of holding back, stop making excuses. Let's go. So I did, and I started training myself just over and over and over, and I did the normal things that people won't do, and said that you can't be done. And I'm 118 pounds, and bro, I can put my leg through almost everything. And I spar with some of the best people out there. People that I spar guys 200 something pounds. I spar people, and don't get me wrong, I'm human. I've had heavyweights hit me, and I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen white lights and flashes, and
it's normal. It's normal.
Yeah, I've had sparring. I'm gonna lie to you. I've had sparring sessions where where I get hit and all of a sudden, I hear the guy looking at me, holding me, saying, "Yo, how you doing?" I'm like, "What happened?" What do you mean? How am I doing?
Yeah. But
Yeah, what are you talking
get better, but it's funny, it's funny you mentioned that because coming from New York and training in New York, you're training with a lot of these schools that produce, well, like you said, world champion. You're not fighting bums, whether it's Bobby Campbell, Luis Ruiz, Ray Longo, Luis Negra, Tommy B. Baton, who also multiple world champion, but also he has his kickboxing shows too. My cousin, I don't know if you knew my cousin David Bolo Rivera used to train also with Phil Nurse. I used to go with Phil Nurse all the time, and that's how I met Enzo Gracie. And we team up.
During those times, it was such a competitive sport.
Oh,
I mean, you had
everywhere.
What's his name? I don't know if you remember. Orlando Rivera had a younger guy, Rodriguez, Tommy Rodriguez.
Travis the Warrior Rodriguez.
Yeah,
he's my friend. Yeah,
he was a 135.
He was everywhere. He was everywhere.
Tim Lane came out and Tim to bring the pain Lane. I mean, this guy was tearing people up.
Yeah.
And it was just like you have Pete Kalvacek. The guy was like yeah. So I mean, these are guys that were the pioneers, are still the pioneers. I mean, you guys look at Phil Nurse has taught many of the people. Ray Longo has taught many of the people that you today see in the UFC. You know what I'm saying? So, it's
he trained Frankie Edgar, GSP, once upon a time. I mean, he trained a lot of guys in kickboxing. Yeah,
and he's been working with Weidman. As a matter of fact, he did all the striking for Matt Serra.
Right. Yeah.
So. You got to look at these people. And I've trained with people like Bob Morrow, who used to be the coach for Chris Algieri. And I used to train and spar with people like Derek Oldersmith. So these are the guys that we grew up with. It was a tough group. You know what I mean? Everybody just went out there.
Chris Algieri, when I was kickboxing, he was also competing in our show too. As a matter of fact, there's one of the poster that he was the main event, and I was the in that card too. Now realizing who he was later on, he became world kickboxing champion, retired that to become a boxer, and became a boxing world champion too. You know what I'm saying? What
actually was really funny is that Tom Scozo, who's actually the ISK president, he actually sent me a photo. It was actually a fight poster, a long time ago, for Louis Leslie fight, and it was kind of funny because I was fighting Devon Cormack. Okay, he was already world champion, and Tom Scozo, he was actually fighting an amateur Muay Thai fight underneath it.
Wow.
And I couldn't. You're talking about.
You knew that back then. You know what I'm saying?
Of course not.
Now you look at it like, holy shit.
When I was fighting pro, and people like Louis Gordonat and what's his name, Jaime Rivera from the UFC. Yep. These guys were amateurs. They were just fighting out and Louis Negri Combat at the Capital and stuff like that.
That's right.
And don't get me wrong, these guys they stayed in it, and these guys became like beasts. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have all respect for every fighter in the world. Even amateurs, I have respect for, because anybody that goes in the cage or anybody that goes in the ring, you're putting your life on the line. People don't know what we go through in the preparation for fights. They don't know the weight cutting. They don't know the drills of going up, waking up in the morning, doing 18 miles of running. Absolutely. You put pressure on your family, your mind. You have doubt in your own self whether or not you're going to do what you got to do. You come in there, everybody, you got people telling you can do it. Some people say you can't. Some people, so you're going through all this thing, and then you got fight day, you got weigh-ins. I mean, you don't know what the hell, And then all of a sudden, just that bell rings and boom, it shows on.
That's right.
And sometimes you let me tell you something. I've done good where I'm fighting certain good people, and all of a sudden you get too confident, you put your hands down, you get caught.
That's right.
Let me tell you something. I got caught. I fought. I don't know if you remember. There was a world champion, Keith Young.
Keith Young.
Okay. I heard he worked under He worked under AFC for Tommy Baton. He was the lightweight champion of the world also, and. We fought. I mean, this guy was a lot bigger than me and whatnot, but it is what it is.
He was bigger.
I accepted the fight. And, bro, let me tell you, the first time he beat me and I complained and said whatever. Second time, bro, that man put me to sleep, bro. I mean, I woke up and I was in, like, Stony Brook Hospital. And it was funny because I'm looking at my wife, and my wife was like, I looked at her, I opened my eyes, and I was like, I obviously didn't do too well.
If I'm in the hospital, I would say you did too well.
I'm hearing behind me. I'm hearing.
Hey man,
that sucks, bro. But you know, that's what a fighter. That's what a fighter is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned Chris Wagner. Chris Wagner was my first amateur fight. Okay.
Really?
You know,
Wait, let me ask you. Wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Chris Wagner. He was like eight. Wait,
hold on. You didn't fight him in Mineola, was it?
Yes.
Was that you that he ran across the room, did like a jumping punch? I saw him in. Okay, check this out. There was a fight in Mineola, and Ray Longo was holding it, and it was like kind of like it was actually in Ray Longo's gym.
It was inside a gym.
Yeah, and he actually won. If I'm not mistaken, it was like the amateur title.
No. It was not for no title.
Okay, so he ran. I actually remember seeing him. It was like the first round. He ran across the ring. He did like a jumping. It was almost like a Superman punch.
No,
back then,
that was not me. That was not me. that was not me. What happened was I was scheduled to fight somebody else. When we got there, Luis Ruiz was my trainer then. And last minute they said, Cruz, your fighter cannot make it, but you could fight him. And him was Chris Wagner. Not knowing who he was. He was semi-pro then. He was like 14 and something as an amateur.
He was a tough dude.
Yeah. I didn't know nothing about him. So I was like, I'll fight him.
You know he fought Tommy Batone.
He did. Yeah, he did. And so we went at it. It was a three rounds. And of course, I lost by decision. I lost by decision, and he went to my locker room and told Luis Ruiz, like, "Damn, who's that guy?" I said, "Well, that's Anthony Tiger Cruz." Like, listen, he's a tough motherfucker. He's gonna be one day he's gonna be world champion. And sure enough, that's how it happens.
I remember I was at a fight, and I don't remember a long time ago. PKF, there was a guy named John the Stallion Evans.
Yes, I remember that.
He fought a guy named TC Celestine for the New York State PKF title. Pro title. Okay. That same day, if I'm not mistaken, Orlando Rivera fought Bad Boy Ruiz.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was a fight.
That's right. And I was there because you see my Facebook pages. There's pictures after the fight celebrating. Because they fought twice. So they won. They won and won. There's supposed to be a third fight to break the tiebreaker. But to this day, it never happened.
All right. So, Matt.
Good times, man. Good times.
Absolutely.
So, I know you guys didn't meet each other, Matt and Anthony. That's Anthony, Matt. That's Anthony. You guys never met each other. So, I know.
It's funny. Like we know a lot of the same people, and we were around the same circle of promoters and fighters, but we never met in person. I mean, it's crazy how life is.
Because he kept asking about you. I don't know anything about you. Then you were
listen.
Anyway, let's talk about your training, Matt. Getting ready for your fight September the 12th.
Okay.
How prepared are you for this fight?
Oh, brother, I can run 25 miles straight. I can start. I train and I spar. I travel everywhere because during the COVID, it's hard to get good sparring. I spar everybody from 130 pounds all the way up to 220 pounds.
Nice.
All different styles, pro boxers, Muay Thai, MMA, whoever wants to stand in front of me. And I'm like I said, I don't float my own boat, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
So
put it this way: the only people.
Yesterday?
Oh, absolutely. The only people that don't complain are the trees, the telephone poles, and the metal box. They don't complain.
I should tell my wife that because the bricks don't talk back to you neither.
Yeah, the bricks don't talk back.
But you know what? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It is true.
But they make you tough. They make you tough.
Back. Okay, I've never been attacked by a tree before, so they don't hit back. Right. But the point being is when I can sit there and break down the signs, and my sparring partners now will tell you when I kick you and you block it, or you try to block, let's say attempt to block it, or you try to check it, it's not a good day. Not a good day.
That's right.
That's why
right.
I don't want to get near you or see you if we ever try to get in the ring and spar a little, you know.
You know what
Because
though?
I
Jeff, I'm realistic, and let me tell you something. In this game, anybody can get caught, brother.
Yeah.
Anybody can get caught. So you go out there with everything that you got. You go out there with what you believe. You make sure that you prepare. You can't control what your opponent does, but you can control what you do.
You prepare what you do. That's right.
That's right. So
Amen.
if you come in there, you get your mindset 100%. You're willing to give everything you got. You know your cardio is good. You know you didn't cut corners. You know you ate the proper food. You know you made weight. You know you hit like a bastard, and you're fast as hell. You give it all you got, brother. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
That's true.
What are you gonna do?
But
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. See,
I'm
you know,
not-
I hope people are listening, because that's advice from a great champion. See, that's
Yep.
what it takes to be the best. That's what it takes to be a champion. No
Let me tell you,
shortcut.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I went in there and I was fighting. There's a guy named Lennox Chance, and I was fighting him. Okay, it's Lennox Chance, a world champion. He's really good. He was a product of Tommy Baton. And let me tell you, and then he went off and did his own thing. But the thing being is that I mean, I was doing things. If you saw a fight, I was leg kicking. I mean, I believe I was doing, and I wasn't even to the point where I am now. Like my maturity now, my strength is like unbelievable. But the point being is that he had that experience, and at the same time, I got sloppy. I put my hands down in the third round, and I got caught right on the button. And let me tell you something: when you get caught, Confucius says you get hit in the chin, not good. And he's a heavy hitter too. You know what I'm saying? And he had more weight on me also. So the point being is that he's a professional. When you're a professional, you're not a bum. You understand what I'm saying? Even a guy with a losing record, he obviously is not an amateur. He knows how to hit. So you know what? That's life. You know what I'm saying? I actually fought Moses Orocho, who's like, that was Tommy Baton's teacher. And I didn't even know at the time. Man, let me tell you something. That dude, he beat me so, I mean, there was a time, I don't know what the hell happened. You know what? I remember a time that he caught me with like, it was like a second round or something. He caught me with like a 3-piece, man. And I was looking at the ref like, why are you not counting? I heard yo, usually you can like, you take the, white flash and boom, whatever. Bro, I saw white flash. I think that shit turned purple. It was like, I heard 5, 6. I thought he was cheating.
Right.
I said, how you starting to count at 5?
Right.
He's like, no, bro. That was a slow 5. That was like a 1, 2.
Yeah, my sparring partner was Louis Bad Boy Ruiz. I was fighting at 150. I was fighting 150. Louis is over 200 pounds.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
And you see him, he's all muscle. There was never a light sparring. Back then, there was never a light sparring session. It was full contact. He will beat my ass. But guess what? When I fought everybody else, it was easy.
It's different. Yeah, it's like nothing, bro. It's like nothing. Absolutely. Bro,
it's like nothing.
Let me tell you, there used to be a group in Coram, New York called East West MMA, and Bobby Beltran used to run it. And they had good fighters there. Don't get me wrong. They had what's his name? I think Schuler. They had what's his name? Like a whole bunch of guys. Castro. You know what I'm saying? They had really, really good fights. And, that other kid, that young kid, I forgot his name. Jeez, but he's doing good also. But I mean, like, I actually, what's his name came in there, Ruiz, once, and like, I mean, bro, he's not a little guy. Ruiz is a big guy, you know. Especially when you're 118 pounds and you stand next to these guys, you know, it's like, you're looking at him like,
yeah.
But I mean,
so let me ask you this, Matt. If you ever had if somebody walked up to you, management or another promoter, after this fight, would you ever, if they asked you, hey, would you try bare knuckle fight?
I've been asked that already. The thing is that don't get me wrong, I respect the bare knuckle people.
Man. Come on, let's do it. I'm doing it. Come on, let's do it. Join the dark side.
I don't ask, Matt.
Wait. The Tiger's going in the bare knuckle?
Yeah.
Wow.
He is.
I was scheduled for the June 26th. I was scheduled for the June 26th fight when it got canceled because of the COVID thing.
Wow, bro. You know what? Hats off to you. That takes balls. That takes some balls in there, bro.
Hey, I still got it. Might as well do it, you know.
That's what almost every fighter says. You gotta have balls to get into bare knuckle.
You know what?
You could do it, man. Come on, man. You could do it.
No, don't get me wrong. Listen, honestly, it's a different type of fight, Jeff. It really is.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's not. You're not kicking. You're not clinching. But let me tell you something. I mean, these guys, you're not hiding behind any gloves.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
not.
And you're gonna feel every blow that you got. Every jab is gonna start opening you up.
Even a jab could cut you. Even a jab, bing.
Of course,
easy cut. Yeah,
absolutely. And all those lacerations are gonna open you up, bro. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not disregarding you, Jeff, or nothing like that. But trust me when I tell you, you go in there and you get backed around a couple times, you're gonna understand what I'm talking about.
Hey, wait a minute. I've done a lot of street
once I'm done with my first fight,
all right. I didn't know.
But once I'm done with my first fight, the first person I'm gonna call is Matt and Matt. I need a beer.
Yo, can you see my knuckle? Look, you swear it. You see it?
There you go.
Look,
there you go.
You see that damage? That's from that's from yesterday's sparring session. I actually hit the dude so hard with my glove that when I turned it on him, I turned it. I cut my own hand because I didn't wrap him in the glove. Wow. I cut my own hand up.
There you go.
Hey, check this out. Wait a minute.
And that's what gloves on.
Are you heavyweight, Cruz, or 185?
No, 170.
Okay, so you're telling me I have to go 170 to fight Cruz? Nah,
bring it.
That's not good, bro.
Bring it.
You know I love you, Cruz. I wouldn't do that, man. All right, so Matt, being prepared for this fight on September the 12th, which has been almost, I believe, 8 months before you had your last fight?
No, that's definitely a year, and the reason being is because I was suspended for the year. I mean, it was me and the commissioner had an issue, and I learned a very valuable lesson that, you know what, you don't bite the hand that feeds you just don't do it.
That's
right.
You know
what I'm saying? I got a little big for my britches, and I paid the price. So, you know, you got to pay the piper. You know what I'm saying? And
that's right.
Regardless, I'm not going to badmouth anybody. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I look at it like this. It gave me a whole year to prepare and turn into a serious beast. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Us pros, we have respect for everyone. I know my opponent, not like person, but I do know we talk. Okay? I know Gio Alvarez. I know almost all the fighters. Like, I've actually, you know, we talk all the time. I don't know. Some are dicks. Some are idiots that don't like to, you know, they try to, this ego and we're better. You know, but you know what? We're all the same. You know, and I've talked to him. We've talked. You know what I'm saying? He's a good guy. He's training hard. I'm training hard. And, you know what I'm saying, that night, it is what it is. There's nothing personal in that. You know what I'm saying? It's a signed contract. We do our thing. We go in there. We perform. We're athletes. We're professional athletes. And we're entertainers. We go in there and we do exactly what we're paid to do. That's it. And then when we're done, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing. I'm not with, I did that to you. And that. You know what? It's not. It's congratulations. Because if I beat you that night, that does not mean I can beat you the next night.
That's right.
Everybody thinks, you beat this guy so you can always beat him. It don't work that way, brother. You just got blessed. You were on point. You did what you did, and the best man won that night. But that's it. All right, everybody can tell you that.
That is true.
That's what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you, like I told Cruz, a year and a half ago, I started sponsoring Matt because I liked his attitude, the training he was doing, and I know he could fight. And Matt is a great guy. He's dedicated to fighting, and I really can't wait to you fight September 12th. It'll be the first time I ever see you fight for a long time, and I kept my dedication to you, and I'm going to keep doing it. So tell everybody.
You coming up to New York, you're going to watch it on Bleacher Live? Because it's on Bleacher Report Live.
No, we'll watch on. We'll watch on.
Bleacher Report. You can get that app for your phone, and you can watch it right on your phone.
Cool.
Okay. Send that link to us, and we'll share it to everybody on Facebook and try to get them to watch it, man. So
because I mean, this will be the first time that I fight on Triton. But I heard that Triton and Chris Machi and all those guys. I've seen a lot of the fighters that they produced, and they produce they have Moses has a fighter on there. Chris, he's a beast too. So I mean, there's a lot of young fighters.
I heard of them. I'm not sure if I fought for them once. But I heard from them, and they're pretty good. Yeah,
because New York has certain fighters. Like they had Joe Pulio, Louis Neglia, Okay,
Joe Puleo
obviously
was there.
Triton's a new one now. They also have the
Yep.
ECF, which is Chris. So they're I mean they're moving up. And from what I heard, the Triton also has fights over at the what is that, the Paramount in Huntington. So what I'm saying, so they're holding decent venues. Eventually always held his venues at the Capital, and Puleo used to hold his fights at Sports Plus all the way to the Radisson or something like that, and then it turned to Skynet or something. But I mean, then he had at St. Joseph's College.
Yep.
So I mean, these guys, yeah. I mean, Top Kick Kickboxing used to produce. I mean, think about it. I mean, Tommy Patron was on Top.
Yeah.
I mean, we all, it was like a tight knit family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
I turned pro under Joe Puleo.
Did you? All right. So
Yeah.
where was that? That was a Top Kick.
The WKA.
Yeah, no. What I was saying is that was
Top Kick, yeah,
that was
Top.
right. But St. Joseph's that was Sports Plus back then.
Sport Plus.
All right. You know what? My first pro debut, believe it or not, was against Dave Buglioni, the welterweight champion of the world.
Wow.
147 pounds. 147, and I came in at 110.
Damn.
And I was a debut.
But because to show you that's why a lot of my fights are not online no more, because a lot of these fights were not sanctioned. That's not legal to have somebody 110 fighting somebody 140 something. You know what I'm saying? So even now that I'll be going through Joe Polio and I forgot the guy's name.
Don't get me wrong. Puleo was professional about it. What happened was my fight.
I'm talking about Polio, but I turned pro under him, but he's not the head of the WKA. The guy who's the WKA.
No, that was the USKDA. That was back when Paul Rossner was still alive.
Right.
Now Jay Mendez took over.
That's right.
I mean, back then Puleo was very professional. He came up to me and he said he
was cool.
My guy didn't show up. They didn't show up. So would you guys do an exhibition and let it go? So I was like, yeah. I mean, that's an honor. It's an honor to fight with a world champion. That's nothing but experience, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy. But hey,
no one's expecting me to win.
That's how it was back then,
So Matt,
yes.
Being the weight class you're at right now, how does it feel to be the weight class from 115 to 125? Do you feel like that you could be stronger in the upper weight class or staying where you're at right now?
Well, right now, unofficially, I've gotten a little bigger, so you're going to see a lot more power. You know what I'm saying? So I've been keeping everything quiet, but I mean, trust me when I tell you that power is not coming from nowhere, and the speed is always been there, but now speed's getting. I've learned as I got older that it's not the effort, it's more technique, and I know I sit better on my punches. I'm very more relaxed when I do what I got to do. I know angles a lot better, and you know what? It's being more confident in yourself, and being more. You actually believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? There's no more like, you've been hit by everybody. I've been hit already. You know, a lot of people haven't been hurt before. A lot of people haven't seen white flags. A lot of people have dropped and took standing eights and know what it's like to come back. You know what I'm saying? It's a totally different ball game. Muay Thai, kickboxing, stuff like that is different because in MMA, if you get rocked real good, they'll stop the fight. Where in Muay Thai or in MMA, you get,
they didn't.
Yeah, that's a standing 8 count. You get dropped, they'll step back. You got 8 seconds to cover yourself, and guess what? That boy can come back and knock you out again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and unfortunately, sometimes though, that's when the damage is done to a fighter because you know what I'm saying. You can have a bad concussion, and your adrenaline, you'll get back up, and then all of a sudden you get rocked again. You know what I'm saying? But either or, the point being is that every fight has its game, and don't get me wrong. I went into the MMA, the pro MMA route, and I didn't even know the ground game, and I learned the ground real fast. So, because I stood up with the boys, but then they're smart. They did what they did, and they went to the floor. You know what I'm saying? The first one I got caught in some stupid, I say it was like a top mounted triangle, and then the other one I got caught. The other one I got caught in, I think it was a Darcy. I think it was Darcy. But both of them were veterans. I mean, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But either way, the point being is that you do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I went in there just for the sake of saying, okay, let me get my feet wet. Let's see what it is. But guess what? You know what? I know how to grapple now. So when I decided to jump back in there again, it's a totally different ballgame. And always remember something. Absolutely. And I always look at it like this. I can learn to do sweeps. I can learn to do escapes. I can learn to do takedown defense. Question is, can you learn to take a hard ass hit? That's
right. You can never learn that.
You know what I'm saying?
Never learn that.
Can you take a very hard kick, a shin kick to your mouth?
You can never learn that. Never.
We'll find out.
Yeah, you can never learn that.
So we have 5 minutes left on this show. So let the fans, your coaches, everybody know what we're going to expect from you on that fight on September 12th.
Well, you know what? Like I said, I don't go around saying, "Oh, I'm gonna knock this out." I'm not gonna. You know what? Let me tell you something. I respect my fighter. I know he's got kids. I got kids. So neither one of us are gonna retire on this fight. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna knock you up. No, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to win, and that's it. Okay. Whether I win or not, I'm gonna do my best. If you beat me that night, guess what? You beat me, bro. Congratulations. That's it. If I beat you, I'm not gonna jump up and down and say, "Oh, I beat." No. You know what? I won. I'm shaking your hand, bro. Whatever, it is what it is. I'm going to go out there and do what I got to do. I know my cardio is strong. I know my hits are strong. I know I'm fast, and I know I can take a hit. So you know what? From that point on, my hats are off to him. The point being is this: I'm a pro, you're a pro. Let's go out there and have a good time.
That's a stack.
I like it. I like it. Because I'm the same way. I like it. Very professional, very humble. I like it, man. You the man, bro. You the man.
See, Matt, that's what me and Anthony were talking about, I think, our last show, about how being respectful to other fighters and respectful to people that do interviews and stuff. Take it all and put it in the ring. Don't worry. Don't be disrespectful to the fighters, their family, and everything. So what you just said was point on what me and Anthony were talking about last week.
Yep.
So,
yeah, but everybody's different. But that says a lot about the person, the character about the person. A lot of guys like to talk shit, and it's okay because it's part of the sport too. But it's how far you take it. It's not.
That's UFC. That's in the UFC.
Yeah, it's not you talk shit. It's how far you take it and what you say. But there's a limit, bro. If I'm gonna fight you, concentrate on me. Don't mention my wife. Don't mention my kids. That has nothing to do with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Mention, you want to curse on somebody, you curse me. You want to call names, you call name on me.
Yeah.
The minute you make the minute you call my wife's this or my kids this, now it becomes personal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what? As a professional, there's no reason for
that. There's no need for that.
We're gonna stand sooner or later. We're gonna be face to face in that bad boy, ring or cage.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. What more is there to say? Your coach ain't gonna be there with you. Your wife ain't gonna be there with you. Your friend's not gonna be with you. It's gonna be you and me, and you can say anything you want during that time. And I think you're not gonna say much. You better put your hands up and your chin down.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So, but besides that, you know what I'm saying? We're both pros. We know what it's like to get ready for it. We know that what it's like to go home after sparring sessions and you got headaches and your neck hurts. We know what it takes to get in there. All right, we're not the fans that are watching it. We're the guys who's going there and doing it.
That's right.
So the point being is that, you know what? It is what it is. We go out there, and you know darn well none of us are making a lot of money doing it. Half the people get ticket sales. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And this is the real fact. So, it is what it is. But you know what? The point being is no one forces you to do it. You see what I'm saying? We love it, and we're the ones that's doing it. A promoter's not telling you have to fight. You don't have to do anything in this world.
You don't have to do nothing. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
we
right.
love it, and we know the risks, and this is the lifestyle that you want to do. So if you want to do it, then you go and do it. You go and do it, and that's for you. But I always even tell my kids, if you're going to do something, you start something, finish it. And that's the reason why I'm still here. Because you know what? I've been with all you guys and a lot of you guys, stuff like that, and I took the USKBA title and the PKF title and stuff like that. But you know what? Some of you guys are blessed enough that you had that world strap on your back. And I never was in the game long enough to the point where, because I had kids, I had to leave and come back and leave and come back. And the guys I always came back against were world champions. So I had problems. And don't get me wrong, I don't take anything from them. They stayed in the game. They earned it. Okay? When Devin Cormack beat my ass, Devin Cormack earned it. You know what I'm saying? When Keith Young beat me, he earned it. When Moses beat me, he earned it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take anything from these guys at all, and never will. These are warriors. Whether or not they're fighting right now, I don't give a shit. They could be retired. Okay, let me tell you something. Bobby Campbell, he turned into he's a successful promoter now. And the guy is a beautiful child. I see his child all the time, and he's a good father, and he's a good person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a good person. I know for years.
You know what? Absolutely. I have nothing but respect for him. I have nothing but respect for Lennox. I've never even physically met you, but I know your background and who you've been with. So I know that you're not obviously a bullshitter. You've been out there, and you know what? Because you've been out there, you got nothing but respect for me, too.
Thank you.
All right.
It's funny. It's funny. I knew who you were, because I seen the posters and stuff like that. I knew who you were, but I never actually met you in person. It's like it's crazy how that goes. But hey, man, it's a pleasure to finally know you, and talk to you, know more about you and your history. And I'm humble, and it's a pleasure to finally meet you, man.
Likewise, brother.
So, like Matt, I've been supporting you for the last year and a half, and I'm going to keep supporting you, man. You're a great fighter. I love your attitude. And
he's a beast.
Before we get off the show, I know you got a lot of sponsors to yell out to, and thank everybody. I'm gonna let you do that. Before you do that,
well, you know what? A lot of guys, as of when it comes to sponsors, my sponsors know who I am, and they know where I got. My Atlantic City backs me, which is a beautiful thing. But to be recognized by the own city that you come from, and the funny part is I actually came from New York, But the point being is that these guys accepted me. It took a while, but you know what? The one thing I've learned in this life is that everybody talks, and if you're persistent and you go there and you do what you got to do, win or lose, the point being is you get in there and you do everything that you say you're going to do, nobody can deny you. You know what I'm saying? No one can deny you. No one said you have to win every fight or lose every fight or whatever. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you something. Remember Matt Serra? He went in there. He didn't have an undefeated record, but he went in there and he fought Shea Pierre. Shea Pierre took him lightly, and Matt put him on his ass and became the welterweight champion of the world.
That's right.
And you know what? He went back and he fought again, and you know what? Unfortunately, Shea Pierre beat him. But the point being is Matt Serra still, no matter what happens, he still can always say he's the welterweight champion of the world, and he has that belt to prove it. So you know what? You took a piece of him. So like people, you know what? Time goes by, and we'll all die, and we'll all disappear. But you know what? It's what you do while you're here on Earth.
What you do it, that's right.
It's what lasts. That's what counts.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can die, you can die, but people, the names, Bill Wallace, Tommy Bateau, these names will always be there forever.
Forever.
You know what I'm saying? And I hope that one day might have my name to that point. I don't want to ask for a lot because you know what? I'm not a big guy, and I'm not gonna get a lot of people pissed off. But I want my little name in there. I want my name there.
Trust me, people who know who you are, my friend.
They will know now. So everybody, you heard everything Matt Lyall said. Watch him September the 12th. He's going to send a link to us, and I'll share it on Facebook. Everybody just keep an eye on Matt. He's been training really hard, and he's ready to fight, take on his opponent, and we'll wait September 12th to see what happens. Matt, I appreciate you being on my show. Finally, a year and a half, I finally got you on here. And
it's an honor.
All right, man. Thank you for being on Full.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
And I will have you on this show after your fight.
After the fight. We get the juice. We get the juice.
You got it, bro.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And we'll be watching you September 12th. Thank you,
You
Matt.
got it. You have a good night. Thank you. Both of you.
You too, sir.
Thank you. Good night. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing how I knew who he was because every time I was fighting, he was also in my posters. But we never met in person. We never met in person in New York. I mean, as big New York is, it's also small because everybody knows each other, especially in the fighting world. Everybody knows each other directly and indirectly. I mean, it's funny, like all these years, we never had a chance to actually know each other and train with each other. But it goes to show you it happens. Even in New York, it happens. I mean, but it's amazing. Like all the guys he mentioned, I know all of them. I'm friends with all of them. Once upon a time, I fought even some of them. So go to show you how a small world is.
Yeah, it is, man. I've known Matt Lightning for almost a year and a half. I supported him from my energy drink that I used to have. I no longer sponsor those neon things, but I keep supporting him, and they love my support.
No, he's a true gentleman, man. He's a true gentleman. A great warrior, a great champion for the sport, and he's been around for a long time. He's been doing it for a long time. So he's one of those guys that take the sport serious. He trains serious. He knows what it takes. He knows what to do to get there. So whoever is fighting him, oh man, I feel sorry.
I know, man. He kicks hard. All right, guys. You heard from our first
yeah.
segment. You heard from our first segment. Zachary Johnson. He's got a fight coming August 22nd. Be ready for that. He's been training really hard. I can't wait for that fight.
Great guys, both of them.
And also, I have Matt Lightning and Lyall. Been almost a year since his last fight. So he's going to be fighting September the 12th. Be on the lookout on the link I'll be sharing to you guys. And he's a great fighter. I love his attitude. He's got a lot of spirit. I don't know what else to say about him, man. He's a really good guy. And hopefully they go well in this fight and he takes that victory. So, Anthony Tiger Cruz, do you have anything else to say before we get off this show?
No, man. It was an honor and a pleasure to interview these two guys, man. And they're very a warrior of the sport, very gentleman of the sport, and I'm happy for them. Because both of them been out for a while, so I know they're hungry and they're looking forward for that fight, for that W. So can't wait to see them after their fight. It's gonna be exciting to touch base again.
Yeah, that's true. And remember this, I will always support you, Anthony, because you're my co-host, and you give a lot of time to be on my show and everything.
Look at that. I'm getting ready. Be careful. I'm getting ready.
I can't wait to see you fight, man.
Man, it's gonna be awesome
when you get there. So
it's gonna be awesome.
Everybody, you watch the full broadcast, 24/7 sports news, live interviews, media coverage. A lot more coming up tomorrow night and next week. Be ready to watch my show because there's going to be a lot of excitement coming up, a lot of fights, and I'll be keeping you updated on it. Anthony,
don't miss it.
Tiger Cruz, my co-host. Thank you for watching my show, full broadcast, 24/7 sports news. Have a good night.
Beat him senseless.
You and me and you, we gonna throw down. That's right, we gonna get serious.
You can run, but you can't hide.
It's time for the Fuller Broadcast with your host, Jeff Fuller, and your co-host, Anthony the Tiger Cruz, bringing you the latest.
Who knows? And broadcast. First time.